What's poppin', people? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. We've got Thomas Tex on the decks, gonna be bringing us back some Alliance gameplay, and we do have Ragnaloardmon. Two members facing off against each other. We've got Christian Roll from the DigiEgg tier, and at the ultimate, Mr. Tricks on the sticks, Thomas Tex on the decks. You know what? What's your new iteration of X on the Y? It looks like we'll be having Ludomon go first. We do have Kakinmon. This is a friendly before bracket started, so big thanks to both of these guys for getting me some footage. Helps me do daily Digimon content. So Cherubimon, and then it looks like Terrier from EX6 into the Wendigo. So no flicker shenanigans to start with, but a memory set of Mimi does set up quite nicely for the next one. It means that if we do push out, evolve into a 5, then we're gonna get it's pretty decent value. Pitching off a Sparta with the Sparta, but it looks like we're missing the 5. So double Typhoon and then green Memboost. Gonna dig, gonna find that Panyamon, and out comes Raiji. Gonna use the Kakinmon egg in order to burst for a memory. Go into the Durandamon from the starter deck. You'll have already seen the lists, but the starter deck is pretty heavily represented at the top end because you do get to do this. Before I had to do dumb stuff. This place to the field, not go to hand. I had to do dumb stuff like load X antibody in order to do that, but now you can see it's just part of the archetype. We are +3 off of that, so we're 14, so we do swing over the Cherubi X. But yeah, it's pretty cool that we can just do this now. I'm not a huge fan of him putting the Zuba Eagomon into the stack there. Obviously, it does mean that he'll be able to pop small bodies, but I think if he'd gone wide, he would have just been able to set up to go more aggressive. But then again, I guess he needed... No, because he had the plus DP already. Either way, it looks like we're going to just be going hog wild as we are going to see the double Typhoon play out the Panya. And of course, thanks to the Mimi, we do have that Terriermon in the back. Look at these sparkly gang. Looks like we're going to see the Cherubimon. Cherubimon is going to get the pop on the Sparta. Out comes Cherubimon. And then Susie is going to allow the Cherubi to go into Cherubi Ace. We are going to get a Wendigo out, and the Wendigo is going to flicker the Lotmon. So the Lotmon recasts its on play, and then that is going to be the minus DP that shrinks off the board. That's why I didn't like the Zubamon being placed in the Duranda, because you'd already established your DP and you weren't gaining anything from having it in the stack. So instead, if you just left the 4 out, then the 4 would have been able to allow you to go 5, 6 and then threaten for board again. But at this point, Ragnar does really struggle to play into DP when you're on the back foot. You do have to be very, very fast in this matchup. We have actually played this matchup on camera before, so if you want, you can go take a look at the sample testing. Hopefully it'll be in the cards if I remember, around 3 minutes in. Smile. You can see kind of how back and forth this goes. Right now, Trick's in the driver's seat. And he is threatening lethal. Obviously, Ragnar does have some pretty big security. There's a lot of megas in there. But if you do Alliance, that should allow you to beat over everything. And then we're going to go into the Cherubi X at reduced cost thanks to the Terriermon being in the stack. It does let you go into a 2-color for reduced cost. It looks like these combos are still going, as KnTElixar is going to come down, plays out the Lotmon. Lotmon with the double hit finds a Tamer and a 2-color. Susie then going to go sideways, going to go into the Wendigo. Wendigo then, I think, is set up for Alliance, but we're bigger than both the Megas. We're going to swing with a brand new Alliance. Get to double Alliance, thanks to the Lotmon giving it. So, unfortunately, it's not going to be enough because it is 2 rookies. Since the Wendigo wouldn't have had Alliance, I think I would have liked to see him go +4/+4, which would have been enough to beat over it. But either way, it looks like we're just going to go into second Alliance target there. And it's a lot of bodies suspended now, so we're going to go Cherubi. So he's going to make it so if the Lotmon gets deleted, he does get to replay it. Same with the Cherubi. We're going to go to 4, of course, off of getting the rookie and the source, which does mean he could go into Duranda again. The problem is he needs to establish Ragnar here in order to clear. And even if he was to do something like Brue... Oh, he does get the Gacha. So he can go into... He goes straight into the Duranda here, and then if he just goes into thing, then he can make ST Ragnar. But the problem is he's not really got enough sources because he took the sources out. but he did need it. So we're gonna, it just goes into the Ragnar. Gonna get a D-Digivolve, and then what do you choose to delete? Delete the, yep, there we go. Delete the Ace, which is gonna give back 4 memory. So still gets to keep 1. Doesn't have, okay, it's gonna check 1. I forgot that it even did get the burn. So we are set up for lethal next turn, but the problem is he didn't play for board because he didn't have piercing because it was the other Duranda. If he'd been able to swing through a body, it would have at least maybe thinned this down a little bit, because we're at a just boatload. We're gonna swing with Alliance, and then thanks to the rookie inherit, we're gonna go into Cherubi. Cherubi's gonna play out a Terrier Assistant, and then Suchong is gonna let us go into Ture. Ture is then gonna suspend Terrier Assistant, and then Terrier Assistant, the suspension, then let's just go into Antila. Antila play Lotmon. Lotmon find the Chase Cherubi Ace, and then we're going to Wallet Diff. As down comes the Wendigo. Wendigo going to Flicker to play the Lotmon, but I think the Lotmon's going to miss timing on giving the Alliance. We are just going to be swinging for Mega Big. Is going to use the Raiji to prevent himself from getting overflowed, which is, you know, the correct thing to do. However, we're still going to be Alliance 2 checks, and then there is a rookie to take the game.
Matrix Digivolution.
Yeah, today's sponsor is me. I appreciate everyone supporting me as they have, and there are plenty of other ways to support. The memberships, Twitch Prime, and all of that are great ways to do so, and just making sure that in addition to slapping like down and making sure you are subscribed, there are plenty of other things that I do that I really love doing and take a lot of work, and appreciate if you guys also gave them a shout and gave us some honest feedback on them, because the only way we can make them better is if people tell us what they like and dislike. But yeah, that's it for today's sponsor. Appreciate you if you didn't skip it. Back to the video.
Whilst they're getting shuffled up, I do want to say a big old thank you to everyone that has been supporting the channel. We've managed to hit over 20 members now, so I can keep doing what I do daily. This is my full-time job, so I do appreciate it. The player's going to be switching out the mats, but you'll hear about that in a sec. First, at the Mega Tier, Justice Josh, who is an ultimate here on YouTube, as well as a Tier 3 on Twitch. Big thank you to the Mega for holding it down. Then for the rest of our ultimates, we do have the Tommy NT, Tommy Tricks on the sticks, who is on the right, 3 Strike Rule, and Bradley Rob. At the champion tier, getting bonus Digimon content from the podcast 1 month early, do have Shinny Carry, Coffee Deus, DHM, Solar Ouroboros, Sebane Brutus Coombs, Thomas Yates, New Andy Fing, Squid Eater, and Benji Gibber. Thank you everyone who has been supporting the channel, the champion tier, getting more and more perks. So I hope that y'all are enjoying it. It's the most represented tier. At the rookies, we do have Ryan Balfi and Greatness Beam, and then at the Digi Eggs, last but not least, we do have Jambo TCG, John Esposito, Walter Caceres, Christian Royal, and Rose Pierce. Appreciate all of you. All right, so getting into game 2, just seeing the Ludo and the Zuba, and then Wendigo built in the back with the Lotmon from EX4. It seems like Trix has changed his low end to have a lot more of the EX4 Alliance warp targets. So he just gets more and more value out of the Suzy because you get like doubles. Ludo, not going to find, I guess, the amount of extension that he was wanting. So it's going to be a 5 cost Evo into Juro, which I'm not a huge fan of. This is one of those, like, ideally you don't promote if you don't have it. So maybe I would have liked to see him go full Juro, but he actually might avoid the shrink here. The new KnTElixar, because he's not on as much of the Ture stuff, you're not getting as much shrink, so he's kind of relying on the shrink to be at the level 6. We're gonna find a terriermon though off of the green memory booster past turn, so it does actually make it out. And interestingly, didn't use the Mimi, so I don't think he had a level 3. So I guess that's why the Lotmon was played out, just to try and get some extra value out of it. Do it in the back, and 4 memory is actually not that bad to play with. That no pierce. Oh, okay, so no pierce, but he just lets it swing through. Chimera, I guess, exists in this list, which, I mean, I guess it makes sense. You make so many 3s and 4s just as an extra random check per game after you've allianced your stuff. Is going to be, again, an expensive Sparta because that mem setter nice and early is going to be putting in value. Gonna crack Zaboost, and we're gonna go into a 5. I'm gonna go into the Terriermon. Ture choosing not to suspend anything. Instead, we're gonna just go Alliance. Does get the double draw off the Coco. We are gonna get the pop onto the Spada, and out comes a Searcher as the Lotmon is gonna double hit. Then we're gonna have the Terriermon turn into an KnTElixar, which it itself does have Alliance, but it also, more importantly, has the ability to spawn at level 3. And now we got hella bodies. As we hit into security, we are big enough. Because we're plus, yeah, we're 20k. Yeah, I think he's just explaining how the actual warp inherits work, because there's a whole lot of magic happening, as we are going to see a flicker. I'm going to take the Cherubi X on a 1 choke, and this looks kind of raps. Like, at 1 memory from here, he can't get into it yet. So we're going to scoop up, and we are going to be playing a bonus game. It's friendly, so these guys getting us plenty of footage. So, yeah, bonus games. And as a reminder, you know, I decided to let y'all off if you're seeing the non-ad version. Well, yeah, the ad version, though. Taking a break from the case split ad, but y'all know the case tournament is going to be there. These mats that they switched to between games 1 and 2 was provided by a good friend of the channel, Saf. Starting up Double Tap. You'll be getting an actual ad for those eventually, just like the Conquest Collectibles one. Yeah, new business venture with a scene. Sorting out custom cloth playmats, 2-sided, of course. We're gonna go into game 3. This time we're actually gonna be having Tricks go first, which I kind of like. Like Ragnar, I like going first, but that's because I just simply like establishing first. Whereas going second does objectively give you more memory to play with, especially if you're just going to go 3, 4, 5 in the back. Panja play Mimi to immediately get a brand new egg just feels so gross. Gonna bring out the Ludos. We're gonna go up to 3 himself, which means he will keep turn on any Evo that he takes here. If he goes into the Jiramon, gonna get flashbanged by a Pichu. Not going for the early load, and is gonna just straight up whiff on all 3. So all 3 of those to the bottom. Still enough to swing through without any aces coming down. But it's a good thing that you got to build up in the back. The Panja achieved its main goal, which was play a mem setter, because that is just a not normal tempo swing. I am not a huge fan of loading up this Durandamon. It's going to push it +2 to 13k, and then it'll be 15 on his opponent's turn. But okay, if you're going to commit an extra the Regiludomon, I actually don't hate that. Green Members as he looks for a new 5 in order to play, and I'm assuming we're just going to evolve that in the back, but no, open pass. He is going to have the 3 memory to play with, in fairness, with the KnTElixar. So the mem setter will allow him to go KnTElixar to then play out the Rakita establish. But we're going to get the draw, and we are going to proc the 3k, so it is actually going to be able to swing through for 2 checks. Can't turn off the Double Typhoon because he's not on BT3 Ragnaloard. Only on the DNA ones. Which is kind of why I'm surprised that he's not on something like Mega Digimon Assembly. So this time, I mean, just slam the 4. Makes the most sense. Just get the highest up the climb that you can get. I'm gonna get the black one out. And then actually can establish Ragnaloard from here. If he goes Jura, Briwe, ST Ragnar. He does have to have it, though, because obviously we did see the ST Ragnar get just sent to hell. So, 1, 2, 3. And we are going to see a second Ragnar disappear. He's going to play the Spada with the pitch. Pitching off the Ludo I don't hate. But pitching off the Spada I'm less of a fan of, because the Spada is more draw power. Either way, that is everything. Is going to decline to the end of turn, and we are going to go into the KnTElixar. Actually going for the boosts just straight away, which is really interesting. Lotmon not finding anything really that he was looking for, so we're going to crack the Double Typhoon that popped out of security, which is going to find another Lotmon. Lotmon finds an KnTElixar, but we don't have a Suzy, so we can't like full wombo here, but obviously he is in danger. We're going to use the Wendigomon. Wendigomon deletes a level 3 and then plays out a level 3. So we're going to pop the Lotmon, play the Lotmon, otherwise known as Flicker. And then we're going to get the Suzy finally out of that, as well as another target. Swing at KnTElixar and is going to swing at the Duranda. Of course, it's not going to have piercing or anything. It's just trying to get rid of the Raigludomon protection. And he's betting on the Briwe being... he's betting on the Briwe being an overextension, so that way Ragnar Ace from hand can't go. We are going to establish an Antila as well as a Cherubi, which is going to give itself as well as some other target refloat. And then also gets the Cherubi Ace out as well. Sheesh. It looks like we are going to go into... Oh, wait, no. That was off of a reveal. Okay. That makes more sense. All right, so we are going to reveal the Ragnar Ace. That is not how this works. It's from hand. Okay. Okay, cool. So, yeah, we are going to get it done. So, Digivolve, burn 1, and then choosing to delete. We are still... I think he's gained the DP already. So, even though we're Digivolved. So, it just looks like we're going to delete the attacking body. And we do float. But that is still going to be end of turn. So, at the very least, the Duranda... He has lost a security. If he loads a Jura, then he'll be able to go sec +1 in order to get some extra value. But there's still a potential that he just still gets cooked. Because all of these do threaten Cherubi Ace. And there's still 3 bodies on board, so that is a lot. We're going to use the Spada, and then we're going to swing at security. But he really doesn't have that much DP. There's only 1 red source in there. So this is a 17k body. Does pop 1, though, thanks to the Spada. And we knew the Cherubi Ace was there because it got revealed off a search. So down it comes. Gets the shrink. And then we do get 1 check. Getting the suspension as well takes damage off the board. And now it just leaves the Spadamon. So by doing it this way and not loading for a pop or anything like that, he's actually kind of made things more difficult. The problem that he did have as well is that the... he's not on many of the new Durandamon or Briwe. So he doesn't quite have the ability to load from hand and kind of play that control that, like, you're not loading a gun or a sword to just slow things down. I'm going to go Cherubi X over Cherubi Ace. And this time we're going to see the Wendigo to get the pop, which then... Wait. Okay, no. We're not going the Wendigo. We're going the Lotmon instead. Which... To be fair, when giving Alliance does mean that we can get double Alliance Warp, which means you get Cherubi Ace. Wow, that's a way cleaner line. That's a way cleaner line. Does get... So he's unaffected by opponent's Digimon effects, so of course is not going to get cooked entirely. But still, is enough to just get straight through that Ragnar. And now there is far too many bodies. HPD as well. Oh, stunting on him. Stunting on him. Now comes down to the Suzy. So I think... I don't even remember which of these can attack. I want to say the Cherubi Ace can attack as well as the Cherubi X. Alliance, Suzy. Suzy make Cherubi. Cherubi play Wendigo. Flicker the Lotmon. Lotmon gets to give Alliance eventually. But first, from Cherubi to Cherubi Ace. From Vice to Virtue. Virtue's then going to swing with... Quadruple Alliance! Oh no! Get double typhooned, triple typhooned, quadruple typhooned! If you like what you saw and you do want to see more, then make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks to all the members that have been supporting the channel. If you want to join that and get your name shouted out like the rest of the gang, then make sure to hit the join button. And as always, have yourselves a damn good one.